So I just want to take this opportunity just to highlight two really important points about what we've been discussing. And this is based on a fairly long-winded experience that I've had working on the Libby, Montana site and continue to work on a number of issues. But one thing is that we found as we began to investigate the Libby, Montana site was an ongoing situation, as Barry and David Eagleman and others have seen, is this really kind of sophisticated effort by moneyed interests to ensure that they don't find asbestos in samples, and that there's a large effort or a large number of groups that can do analyses for asbestos on behalf of corporate America or others that will not find or not call anything asbestos. So with the Libby site, which was a vermiculite mine that was contaminated with asbestos, we would go up there and we were seeing all this asbestos disease, and we would have our samples analyzed by our labs, and it would come back and they would clearly indicate asbestos. The company would come back and say there's no asbestos here, and they would fight us all the way through the courts up to the case went up to the Supreme Court. But these issues of what is asbestos has really been an issue that's being gamed, and it's really a sophisticated game. So that's one piece of this pie. Now the other piece of this, and it goes back to actually a picture that you showed, Arthur, about the World Trade Center. And so Arthur showed the World Trade Center coming down and going up, and they actually switched away from spray on asbestos. They switched to a new product. They switched to a product called zonalite insulation. So that was actually a product that was made with vermiculite from the Libby mine that contained a lesser concentration of asbestos. So if you look at the U.S. kind of regulatory laws in terms of what amount that can be within a product, there's something that kind of says asbestos-containing material can have 1% or less. And that was the assumption that somehow 1% or less is safe, and when that was promulgated. But in fact, and that was a lot of our work and others, and OSHA, even prior to the Libby mine, had realized that a 1% concentration of asbestos in a material has nothing to do with safety. It's irrelevant to safety, as a matter of fact. And we were able to go in and generate exposures. We would have concentrations that our scientists would measure at 0.001%, and we would disturb this material, and we'd get clouds of asbestos that would be over the OSHA STEL in a few minutes. I mean, just ridiculous exposures. As a matter of fact, there's a situation here in Colorado that we investigated, and this was a home that a person, actually was about 17 years old, him and his father, had installed vermiculite attic insulation, less than 1%, in their home when he was 17. He developed mesothelioma at age about 58. They still had this home. We went back to this home in Colorado here, and the material's still up in their attic, and lo and behold, you just disturb it up a little bit, huge cloud of asbestos. The home was contaminated with it as well, and you continue to have this problem. Not only is this problem was in their home, but probably about 10 to 30 million homes is the estimate in the United States. So this is an issue not only in this vermiculite attic insulation, but in all sorts of our products. So there's an assumption of safety. We're calling things asbestos, but we need to be careful, and to understand what it is you banned, which we applaud absolutely, but we need to be careful about understanding what our laws say, and in terms of not having a fallacious ban in terms of something that the public now thinks is banned, which was unfortunately kind of an effort that happened in the U.S. Legislative branch a few years back, which they made some compromises, and the net effect would have been not to really make an effective ban. So I just wanted to raise our awareness a little bit on that issue. Thank you.